Joan?
No.
Do we have any excused absences?
No, we didn't hear from anybody.
Okay,
By their name now.
doggone it. I had this done so nicely and now I can't find it. Okay, who's missing? We're missing Christine, Valerie.
Valerie.
Dennis?
Is that it?
Andrew's missing.
Andrew?
That is it. Okay. Thank you all for being here on time. Consent agenda. I'd like to split this, please. Could I have a motion to approve the May consent agenda?
I will make the motion to approve the May consent agenda.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Fabulous. Here's Valerie. Terrific. Once again, we are unable to approve a financial report. We don't have the information that we need. So as a board, I'd like to suggest that we continue to operate as we normally do, spending within what we know is acceptable amounts of money, and wait until we can have a budget that we can approve. I have this letter here from the interim assistant city manager. The city manager's office is requesting that the proposed 2022 to 2023 budget for the DDA and the May 22 financial report are removed from the June 15th agenda. Please remember that the May financial report joins its brothers and sisters, the April financial report and the March financial report, in being unapprovable. There's an understanding that there are still some questions from the DDA that we would like to have addressed, which is absolutely true. We'd like the numbers to be correct. Therefore, the city administration is requesting that business items, the financial report, and consideration of the annual budget are removed from consideration this meeting. But the best part is the city administration will ensure that by our next board meeting, we will have a comprehensive status update and up-to-date financial documents for you, which is good news because we have not had them for several months and we've been unable to approve an agenda, which we still cannot. So I move that we accept this letter from the assistant city manager and request that, that's the first thing. Can we, geez, OP. Could I move that we accept this letter and do not consider those two items on this agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm delighted to see the commitment from the city for finally organizing this and getting it straightened out so that we have a budget that we can work with, and appreciate their work on that matter. Okay.
Any board, for that matter. They need to have accurate numbers.
I also would like to make a motion that this board will continue to spend the money that we usually spend within the realms of our general understanding of where our finances are so that the board can continue to work without an active budget. Do I have a second for that?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any questions about finances? Okay, director report.
Okay, a couple things. Downtown business, the Vintage Vault at 38 East 14 Mile has applied for their certificate of occupancy, and they plan to have a grand opening on Friday at 10:45 a.m. So we welcome brothers Ryan and Dylan Burke to the downtown. Maggiamo will open soon at 139 West 14 Mile, selling gourmet food items, olive oils, spices, and more. And they will also hold cooking demonstrations. So we have a new entrepreneur, Michelle Kostanek. Old Port Restaurant at 278 East 14 received approval from the Planning Commission last night to install 2 retractable awnings on the front facade of the building to shade their outdoor seating. So that will be a nice improvement. Outside the downtown, 331 North Main, which is the former Famous Chicken, received engineering approval of their site plan, and they're able to apply now for construction permits. And that is going to be biscuits and gravy. It's open breakfast and lunch. And other developments, the mixed-use development at 516 North Main across from the library there is set to begin underground work any day now to install their sewer lines. Elliott Park Apartments on Rochester Road continue to receive final inspections on completed units. In the downtown, the Broadway Square continues to move forward, so without issue. So we also have on the Main Street end, the deadline applications were met for the tech visit and in-your-town funding request, which will assist the streetscape and social district amenities. As far as grants, the Michigan Enhancement Grant for the new hawk signal at the pedestrian crossing in front of the ACE development is complete and ready to be signed by the city manager due to administration delays, not having a manager for a while. This is now, to get their paperwork in now, means that there just not enough construction time to get everything ready to have this done this year. So it is going to be on the spring 2023 plan. We submitted an application to the Planning Assistance Program administered by the Southeast Council of Governments, which is SUMCOG, for electric vehicle charger planning and the installation of 2 level 2 chargers. Have not heard on that yet. I'm not sure when they're going to let us know if we made the cut or not. In other news, all the materials have been submitted for the redevelopment ready community status. I think we got the last things in day before yesterday, and we're awaiting review. So we should be right on target and be able to announce that we are a redevelopment-ready community very soon. Now, the Building and Planning Department have adopted a construction site standards and expectations to ensure that all building sites meet public safety standards and remain orderly, and that they are good neighbors in the community. We've got a lot of new construction going on in the neighborhoods, new homes, and this is just a way to make sure that the sites stay nice and clean and there's not trash, and just a good standards. We all know the arch has been installed. Oh, that's on committee news, so I will stop there, and I guess that is all that I have.
Okay. The city manager is not with us, so we don't have a city manager report. Joan, do you have anything from him?
No.
Okay. Project Committee, Diane Clausen.
All right. So we had our open air street fair, or spring street fair. I think was a pretty good success. A lot of people came out. Did you guys have good traffic?
Yeah.
At Three Cats. We ended up, when I did the numbers for us, the outdoor social district drinks and all that, for that first week, we moved about 185 units out of just Whiskey Taco, which I think was a pretty good success. Things to that we need to kind of reevaluate. The trash cans are getting full pretty quick, as well as the smart bus stops trash cans.
Okay.
That was one that, like, I walked by the other day and it was just overflowing. So
Charlie, do
even
you
doing-
continue to sell social district cocktails?
We do. Yeah, we have it pretty much on a daily. We see it more Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
No, we're not selling any.
No. I think getting out there and putting it out there a little bit more. So today with the heat and all that, I'm going to put out a few more things on that, trying to see what we can do. But might be a good thing to post on the Downtown Clausen page and kind of let people know. I think I get a lot of questions of, hey, can I do this?
Okay.
So I think people think it's only when there's an event.
Oh, okay.
So we try to communicate with people, hey, do you want to take that to go? But it's a lot of talking. It's still, we have a lot of early adopters in our group, but yeah.
Okay. I'll follow up with Trevor at the DPW too because I've got the signs.
Okay.
And see if they are able to get those up now, because I
Yeah.
know that, I heard that some of the laminated ones.
They're getting rough. I was going to refresh them this week if they,
Yeah.
do you know, will the signage be out sometime in the next 2
I'll
weeks?
find out today.
Okay.
I saw them this morning, and I knew there was one other thing I wanted to ask, and I forgot, but I'll make a note here, and I'll check with them today.
If it's going to be a couple weeks, I can refresh all those signs and go
Okay.
through. The big ones would need to get reprinted again, but I think those were holding up okay. The next thing kind of coming up on our agenda would be in August 27th, that's Clausen Fest, kind of early planning stages right now with that. Sean Nasseri's been taking that and kind of running with it, which has been great. So I don't know where his level is, but basically you have to do a donation to the DDA and kind of go from there. Duncan.
He wants to have a meeting, and I wanted to set that up with you and Mary Liz, and it has to be like a 4:30 before
Okay.
he gets off work, so,
We have places we could meet at a 4:30.
Yeah. So,
okay. Are you in town all week,
yeah,
Mary Liz? To both of you, okay. All right, I'll see if we can get something set up.
perfect. Other than that, I think we're all set on Clausen.
4th of July is coming up, and we'll be, just so you all know, we'll be setting up our usual reviewing stands in front of both buildings with ropes and benches. You're all welcome to join us, and we will be serving cocktails, breakfast cocktails, healthy ones,
Yep.
and hot dogs, I think, something really classy like that. But if you'd like to join us, or anybody in the Clausen area would like to join us, we'd be happy to have you.
Awesome.
Okay, landscaping.
Well, as long as we're talking about events and Diane Clausen kind of runs into that, we really need to get another event group going, separate. But we have 4th of July coming up. I said that we would do a float, but I need to know if if anybody here wants to participate in something like that. I have to get a hold of Bonnie Swope. She mentioned that they may be getting some floats from the Detroit Float Company that you could rent from them. Other than that, do we want to, if not that, and I'll get numbers on that, hope this week. If not that, do we want to decorate some sort of vehicle? We usually promote cinema in the street, and we could certainly do the social district and any Diane Clausen things. We would need people to walk.
If we want to
The
put some
parade
signage on that Saab station wagon we have, 68 two-door station wagon, we could do that if somebody can drive a stick shift and wants to drive it.
I can't fit in it.
No, you can't. But it's a four on the tree, no power steering, no power brakes, but it's not very big, so it's not that hard to maneuver.
Sounds amazing. I want to drive
It's a
that.
cute little thing.
But as cute as can be, it's out in the back
Yeah.
behind City Hall. So if we want to use that, I would be happy to share my toy.
We would need commitment from people who want to walk the parade. That's the big thing. It's walking it and handing out information. So, 4 to 6 people is ideal. So,
And it's a lot of walking. Gotta be familiar with walking, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
It's a shoe issue. Do we have any volunteers who might be interested in that?
You should be able to. I just gotta make sure I have coverage for the morning, because we're gonna do the morning thing. I don't like what they're doing, but we should be covered.
I can do that.
David will walk, and he's
I know
got good
how-
legs. He could wear shorts.
We have 2.
Okay.
Normally love the parade, and it's making me so sad if we're gonna have floats and everything this year, but
Oh,
my
you'll be gone?
grandpa is turning 90 and going skydiving that day.
Wow.
Isn't
Awesome.
that crazy?
Awesome.
Wow.
When it comes for excuses, you just really
I know.
hit the
Isn't it like the
jackpot.
crazy
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Could he do it for the parade?
In the corners there.
I would really tie the parade together. Kind of
Shoot
parachuter.
in Maine, that'd be a great spot for him to land.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get anybody interested to get in contact with Joan, and we'll figure out what we're going to do about the parade.
Yeah.
And let's all look for volunteers so we can hook into it.
Yeah.
Okay, and as long as we're on committee stuff, it may be that we have to change the date of the cinema. I'm waiting to hear we're on the books with him, but like everyone, they're having staff shortages. So he was still trying to get a crew together for our date in July. So we will just keep an eye on that. If we have to move it, it's the after effects still of COVID, so
Yeah.
we can roll with that. I think as long as, if we're just talking about the cinema itself, it's not so much of a big deal to just ask for permission to close the street again and move it to a different date. It means that we probably would not, again, set up games and things beforehand in the street. Trying to keep all those moving parts together is a little more work. I don't think anybody minded particularly that we just had the movie. We also have to decide on a movie. I did not receive any, I didn't receive notes from anybody on what they thought. So we're going to need to come to some sort of consensus and.
Don't we get a selection from the vendor usually and choose from that?
No, we just put it together,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
2 or 3, and then pick one.
right.
Oh.
Anybody want to start choosing movies?
It cannot be a Disney movie, however.
Right. I did have some names here, which now I can't locate it. I saved them somewhere where I, knew they'd be safe. But now I don't know where that is, so I will have to find that. And we'll send it around and we can have a consensus vote.
I'll go back in the email and look at what some of our front runners were in
That's a good idea.
previous years. 'Cause I think we've always had a few ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll dig through the emails, find some suggestions, and then send it around to everybody and make a choice. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
And then if somebody has some brainstorm in the near future, send it to everybody. Okay. Anything else on events? Just as a heads up, we still plan to do the trick-or-treating for the kids as well as the bar crawl for the grown-up kids
Right.
in October. Do we have anything in September, Joan?
Yes, we have the other open air fair.
Second open-air fair, okay.
One in the spring, one in the fall.
What's the date on that?
Get to my calendar here. The 10th. It is the Saturday after Labor Day.
Okay. We should probably get all those dates out to the merchants, just so all of us can start putting it on our calendars and planning ahead.
Make a note.
Okay. Shall we move on to landscaping, or do you have another event thing to slide in?
Don't.
Where do we stand on landscaping?
Well, Kathy and Carol, both of the people on the committee, planted flowers. There's 2 flower pots, tall ones, next to the Clausen sign, welcome to City of Clausen sign, and then around the clock and in the ground in front of the, just what we had agreed to. They took the spreadsheet that had the 3 different columns and types of plants and chose what they could amongst those, Thriller, Spiller, and the one that doesn't spill.
Desperate need of people to water those
That's
flowers.
what, yeah, I
Without
do.
anybody volunteering to do this, they're gonna die.
Yeah, Kathy did water them when they got in the ground for a while. She also had some surgery done, so she is home but unable to carry anything like that. Trevor, so DPW has agreed to water them, but that's Monday through Thursday. And I saw Trevor this morning, he said that, early this morning, they would get a good soaking. But in this heat, they probably need water again this afternoon. So if anyone feels like they have time to lug some water over to those 2 areas, that would be awesome.
They should be watered twice a day.
Especially
And I'm
until
not a
they,
flower guy, but they're gonna die.
especially
if they don't
until
get
they're really
water.
established, because it's just so hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was raining pretty good for a while there, which helped and kept the ground nice and wet, but they need water. So,
So we would need to haul water from home into
That's
downtown
another
to water
issue,
them?
yeah.
There's
Bring
no
it
like
by
spigot
bucket
out
or
there?
I think
something.
most businesses would allow you to fill up some water, and I could check with some places. I know Christine at Ryan Cabinetry would be more than happy, so would Pumachug,
Yeah.
to give some water for those. I don't know if, usually it's easier for restaurants because they've got those,
Faucets.
the sink.
We have a spigot, but I just don't know how often I'll be able to get down there.
Yeah.
anybody wants to use it, though.
Yeah, you can stop by Whiskey. We
On the
can
outside of the
fill up
building.
anything.
Yeah.
Anybody who has a mop sink,
that,
it's a
like,
little easier to do. I mean, I'm sure
The,
Sam would offer water, but
between
he's just got a
Ace
sink and
like,
you'd
the
be
new
there.
Retail, there's a spigot.
Does the city have any of those,
And I won't get
like pump
arrested.
sprayers? Anything like that we could
No, we could
borrow?
go buy one if
I
that,
mean, I think Ace has them usually, and maybe even something like that.
Couldn't we
that
get a
could
big
just-
hose on a reel and plug it into somebody's water and take the, just,
well, I don't know who is close enough to do that.
Right, and you gotta have the volunteers to lug the hose around.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that might be easier than lugging pails of water from your
It
house.
could be,
Yeah.
it could be, but it's another
I
issue.
I don't think we have a place to do that. Paula?
How large are the pots? Do you just need a couple gallons for each pot?
Probably they're,
Dry ice.
if we're just couple, probably 2 by 2.
Okay.
They're
I'll-
tall.
I'll cover them this afternoon, or, this evening or whatever.
Okay,
And, I don't know, if I think about it, I'll do it over the weekend. My stuff's dying, so
yeah.
don't use me as a gardener, 'cause I'm not. I
Thank
believe
you,
in
Paula.
Supporting the landscape community by purchasing early and often to reduce the
Yes.
stuff to die.
That's what my indoor plants are, just a couple week investment and then start over. Outside I do a little better, so if we can keep them. Okay, thank you. We got Paula for tonight for the pots. And I don't know, maybe we'll take a look at what, even a wheelie cooler, no, that wouldn't work.
Yeah. I know I had one at my house that was like just carry around, and when I have far away stuff, I use it occasionally. I mean, I don't know how.
I don't know if that's enough of it. I mean, that
It's
gets
probably
the
not gonna-
top.
it's gonna get the
but
top. I
not
don't know if it's
get
gonna
the
soak
gro-
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think we should pay visits on the local, the close merchants to see if we can get them to watch them, since they directly benefit their businesses by being right outside their doors.
yeah.
Well, the one by the sign is,
Because the easier it is, the more
laundromat
likely we're
and
to get somebody to do it, rather than having to drag it from forever.
Well, sure.
yeah.
Okay. Ally,
Thank
Arch
you.
is up. It's still up.
Arch is up. I'm not sure the status on the lights.
They are going
our
up
last
today.
meeting, we didn't meet. They're going in today?
Going up today.
Woo-hoo, look at that.
Fabulous.
Furniture, I have dropped the ball on that over the last couple of weeks. I'm supposed to get the furniture quote together. So our plan was to get inexpensive furniture out there, as bright a colors as we can do. So there's an immediate, space.
What about that issue with the drain? When that alleyway was newly constructed with the construction at hand, I don't know if it was DPW or another company, put that drain in, and it was only a 4-inch drain, and the first freeze, it froze. In my opinion, it needs at least a 6.
I
think
don't
they
know.
evaluated it.
Yeah, it's with the DPW. They were waiting for Hartwell, the company who installed them. They were waiting till Hartwell was in town doing sidewalk work before he was going to talk to him. So I don't know what happened with it. I'll follow up on it. Yes.
Yeah. I'd hate for all that new construction to start.
Well, for it to be frozen is,
Right. Winter's coming,
yeah.
Hey, it's June.
right?
Let's enjoy the lights and the furniture first.
Let's get through today.
What happened with the emails going back and forth about the logs? Did anything?
We didn't get them. Somebody else went and picked them up sooner than we could get over there and do it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
for city, yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just didn't see anything more, and I didn't know what happened.
No, I went back and forth with him like every day, and then by the time I was like, okay, we're gonna come pick him up, he said, oh, sorry, somebody else came.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyone out there has good-sized logs they need picked up? We
We
need
have a
quick
couple trees
portable.
coming down maybe in July, huge trees.
Quick portable, sustainable, easy to chop up in the fall seats.
Okay. Do we have any other new business besides the budget that is forever in limbo? Any comments from anyone about anything? Questions, thoughts?
The condo or apartment complex that's behind us, that's just recently renovated, are they allowed to use, supposed to be using our dumpster?
No.
No.
Okay, it's full of lumber and paint cans
Oh, okay. All right, yeah,
right
we
now.
can. we
So
can-
I don't know who,
That's really not an issue for this board,
okay, I was just
but
asking, so.
you may speak to the city official to your right after the meeting, and she will take care of it.
We will call them.
Okay,
Dumpsters and all the municipal lots continue to be a problem. We did have some, southeast lot especially is an issue. We did have a pickup twice on a Saturday, and then they quit coming on Saturday because they said there was not enough trash in there on a Saturday for them to come back. So that ended, but we do have 5 days a week over there. We know that we need larger dumpster sizes, but we also need larger enclosures to do that. I am supposed to meet with Bob Z from Tringali and his driver, and we're going to look at a couple of the locations and get their thoughts on what would work. The driver knows how he has to get to the dumpsters and what would work for them. So we can put that information together and then, talk to the city about what can we do to make it better. But we'll
I-
start with the drivers rather than the engineers.
I was just concerned with the paint cans
Yeah.
in it, because that's a hazard.
Yeah, thanks. We'll get code enforcement on that. Thank you.
Do you have any inquiries on the vacant land in the downtown, or even some of the abandoned-looking old buildings, businesses? Anybody been inquiring on purchasing,
No,
leasing?
no, if we get inquiries about any of that, we send them to the owner, but I haven't heard anything recently. We get a lot of inquiries about CNC Bump Shop, but once we send them the information
Right,
about that property, we don't usually hear back from them.
right.
Well, I'm sure there'll be inquiries, because people seem to think that this is a hot, happening little town.
They do, they do. We are still getting some good recognition. I talked to the city manager from Sterling Heights the other day, and he was down here and was one of those people who, after 10 years of hard work, we've suddenly become an overnight sensation, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So he wanted to know how we did that, and I had a phone conversation with him yesterday. Starts with a good master plan.
Well, what's really exciting is if you say you're from Clawson, fewer people say, where?
Yeah.
Which I think is a great improvement.
Or I love Clarkston.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, if there's nothing else from anyone, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much for joining us this fine morning. Have a lovely day, haul some water.